What's up, NBA 2K15 fans? Got some great news for you guys. Some unbelievable news. Everyone that's like online association. Well, it's not called online association, but it's back. Check this interview out that I've snatched up from Press Row Podcast with the host Richard Grissom, and he interviewed Dev, senior producer Rob Jones. Check this out.
I mean, hey, let's just be honest, right? I'm the one who gets to do this interview, so I can talk about stuff that particularly interests me, right? Another thing that I love is online leagues, and I was in several NBA 2K online associations in the previous generation, and there wasn't, I mean, technically there were online leagues with the launch version on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but it wasn't something that to me and to I think a lot of people, and I'm sure you heard some feedback, felt like a particularly complete or viable option. So what's happening with online leagues this year? Are there online leagues, and if so, are there any changes or modifications to how those are being put into the game?
Online leagues are back. Last year the biggest problem was that, and we found this out later, is that they actually just didn't work well. So we spent, like I said before, online was a high priority, so we spent most of our time on making sure that the mode works, and we also additionally added features that were required, that people had asked us that weren't part of last year's online league customization side. So, things like bringing in a custom roster, changing playoff length, whether you have playoffs or, trades and things like that. Those are all customization elements that are within the online league this year. But again, the biggest thing was providing an online league environment that worked for guys like you who really wanted to be part of that.
Right. So, like with online leagues, for example, can I join a league with 3 or 4 of my friends, and are we playing in a full NBA? Or if I've only got 3 or 4 of my guys, is that the universe of the league? Has the core structure been modified, or is it, well, how's that? How are the basics work with online leagues this year?
So it's 2 to 30 teams. You can actually customize the season length, and and trade. And play alongside your friends. But and pardon me if I don't have this on right, I don't have this direct in front of me right now.
Right.
I believe that the league is based on a 30-team schedule, so the NBA schedule.
Nice. So I can be with 4 of my friends, and the rest of the teams can be CPU controlled, for example.
Correct.
Oh, I love that. That is so good because. Again, I tell you, like being in an online league is there for me. Again, personally, and I'm certainly not speaking for everybody, but for me, if I'm playing in a league and I know that it's got the persistence of, I might play most of my games against the CPU, but knowing that a couple, 2 or 3 of my buddies are out there too, and that I might play them head to head a few times, and I might meet them in the playoffs, it just feels a lot more real to me. And so knowing that that's back in that way in NBA 2K15, to me is huge, and I know to a lot of the listeners is huge because so many of the listeners to this show are core NBA 2K fans. So that's very exciting. Other online features. I mean, you said online is it was a big focus this year. What are some of the other online either improvements or modes or things that we can expect with NBA 2K15?